today, ladies and gentlemen, we are dropping my 2023 sprint car schedule. Now, if everything goes to plan in 2023, it will be our largest schedule yet. So we got a pretty big schedule this year. We got a lot of racing ahead of us, and that is why you've seen us do so much preparation here in the shop, getting cars built, building spare equipment, and just getting everything in line so here in about 6 weeks, we can get going and race 90% of the weekends up until October. We're gonna be running a ton of the big races out here on the West Coast. We are gonna be traveling to the Midwest, that is the plan, and run out there for literally some of the biggest sprint car events in the country. We're gonna get the opportunity to see some new tracks. We're gonna get to revisit some that we've been to before, and then of course run all the local places here in our backyard. So we're really gonna dive into all the details on my schedule in just 1 second, but real quickly, before we do that, I wanna show you something. So what we're looking at here in front of us is our 410 car for this year. A brand new frame, just freshly got powder coated black by our friends at ABC Powder Coating here in town. Those guys do a killer job, but anyway, just wanted to show you that this made it here inside the race shop. Unfortunately, with just how things went the past couple of months, we kinda are doing everything in reverse. We got our backup car almost built, we got our 360 car pretty much built, we got Carly's car pretty far along, and the main one that's probably gonna be running a good amount of shows, our primary car for the 410 is what's gonna end up being done last, but it's gonna be raced first. Now, speaking of my first race, the 18T will be hitting the track for the first time this year down at the Tulare Thunderbolt on March 21st for the high limit race, you know, the new series that Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson are putting on. It's like $23,000 to win or something in that ballpark range, and I believe just about every 410 in the area is gonna be there to try to win that money. And then after that, about 10 days later, we run down at the Ocean Speedway on March 31st, which will be our first 360 race. That's on a Friday, and then we're gonna run somewhere on a Saturday, but that's still a TBA. And then the following weekend, April 8th, is also a TBA on the schedule. I'm still trying to figure out like where we're heading these first couple races of the season. So after that, the action starts to kind of ramp up for us. We have 5 straight weekends of 2-day shows starting April 14th and 15th down at the Tulare Thunderbolt for the Dennis Roth Classic. Those are 410 KWS races. Then we head just an hour north of the race shop the weekend following to the new Douglas County dirt track there in Roseburg for 2 360 nights, Friday, Saturday, April 21st and 22nd. And then April 28th and 29th, we have a doubleheader at the Cottage Grove Speedway for 360s. So we go from those 2 weekends in Oregon, then down to California for May 5th and 6th in the 410 at the Silver Dollar Speedway, and then we would just continue heading south the following for the Peter Murphy Classic down at the King Speedway or the Keller Auto Speedway in Hanford for May 12th and 13th. So after those races in California, we come back up here to the Pacific Northwest and run the Douglas County dirt track on May 26th and the Cottage Grove Speedway May 27th and 28th. And that's the Marvin Smith Memorial. And then the next 2 weekends we're close to home again, returning to Cottage Grove on June 3rd and then June 10th at my local track, the Southern Oregon Speedway, which is just 25 minutes from the shop. And then this next part of the schedule, well, this is where things get a little bit crazy. So we run out here at Southern Oregon Speedway June 15th, then June 16th we head to the Douglas County dirt track, and then June 17th we head to the Willamette Speedway, and then June 18th we head to the Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington. 4 nights in a row, starting all the way down here in Southern Oregon, and we end up in Washington, and then after that we head to the Dirt Cup, which that starts on June 20th, which is like the Dirt Cup tune-up, which is basically all the same guys just racing, you know, 1 race before the whole thing starts. And then June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th is the Dirt Cup, $50,000 to win at the Skagit Speedway, which there is no way we would miss that. So we get to run 8 races in 10 days, and then the Dirt Cup portion starts June 20th, which is like the tune-up race, and then the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. All of that combined, that event is for the 50 grand. So after all that racing, more up here where I'm from in June, for July and August, we're supposed to head towards the Midwest. So if everything went to plan, our Midwest trip would kick off at the Knoxville Raceway on July 8th, and then we would run Huset's on July 9th. And then we would just be in the area for the rest of the month. July 14th, we would be in Illinois at the Lincoln Speedway, and then we'd be back at Knoxville on July 15th and back at Huset's on July 16th. And then we actually get the chance to run a couple shows with the All-Stars starting on July 21st at the 34 Raceway, which I've been there before and I actually look forward to getting back there. And then we have another Knoxville Weekly show on July 22nd before rejoining the All-Stars on July 26th at Benton Speedway, July 27th at Lake Ozark, another track I've been to before, and then I-70 the following night on the 28th, another track I've been to before, and then the All-Star Show at Knoxville on July 29th. And of course, the reason we're putting so much emphasis on the Sprint Car Capital of the World in July is because in August we run 360 Nationals, August 3rd through 5th, and then of course the Capitani Classic on Knoxville, Sunday the 6th. And then for the first time ever, I'm gonna run the Knoxville 410 Nationals, August 9th through the 12th. And that is just so awesome to say. I'm looking forward to all of it more than anything. But if it all worked out, we went out in early July, got all sorts of track time, and tried to build a little bit of a notebook before 360 and 410 Nationals. I think that would benefit us greatly and give us, much more of a chance to run well. So after 410 Nationals, we start making the sad trek home, but there's still plenty of racing to do. We kick things back off on August 21st at the Cottage Grove Speedway, which is actually the start of a speed week. And then the following night, the 22nd, we head to the Coos Bay Speedway. The 23rd, we head to the Douglas County Dirt Track in Roseburg, and then the 24th, we run Southern Oregon Speedway. And then the 25th and 26th, we still have as TBAs on our schedule, but we do plan on running those nights. And then as usual, we have the Fall World of Outlaws West Coast Swing. So August 31st, 1st, and 2nd, we run at the Skagit Speedway. And then on the 3rd, we run the Grays Harbor Raceway with our 360, and on the 4th, we run there in a 410. And we go from Washington all the way down to Northern California then for the 7th, 8th, and 9th for the Gold Cup Race of Champions there at the Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico. And then we slowly start to kind of close out our schedule. September 16th, we run up at the Skagit Speedway for a weekly 410 race. And then September 29th and 30th, we have a double header for 360s up at the Douglas County Dirt Track in Roseburg. And then per the usual, we will finish our season exactly where we started it, down at the Tulare Thunder Bowl, October 19th, 20th, and 21st for the Trophy Cup. So that is my 2023 schedule. Remember, it is tentative. It might possibly change here or there depending on weather, races that get canceled, and just as the season goes, we see how things are going and then plan accordingly. But that would be our rough outline. I cannot wait to race here close to home at some of the places we've already had success, have a great notebook and have won races at, and then venture out and get to run some of those places in the Midwest that are going to be much more challenging, racing against tougher competition, surfaces we haven't seen, material we've never ran on, and just all the obstacles you're up against when you're not, close to home. But I have a great family, a great team, great equipment, and we are ready to take on a big year and hopefully try to bring home as many trophies and checks as we can. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to ride along with us throughout this journey in 2023, subscribe and help us get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We will see you all in the next one. Deuces.